Kiss fans, welcome to It's All For You Demons, celebrating the fun of being a Kiss fan. And tonight, the fun we are going to celebrate is taking us back 1976. Dazed and Confused era fun. We've talked cassettes, we've talked vinyl, we've talked CDs. I don't think I've ever talked 8-tracks on this channel, so that's our topic tonight. RMR? 8-tracks. I realize this year we've talked a lot about Dynasty, cassettes, CDs, vinyl. We've never really talked 8-tracks. I don't remember even if I mentioned the Dynasty 8-track in any of my Dynasty vlogs this year. So I thought tonight would be a good night to talk 8-tracks. But before we even do that, let's give a little tip of the hat and thank you to my buddy AJ's Happy Fun Time channel. I totally stole this couch setup, how I film these vlogs now, from him. And I really like his setup and how he does his videos. He's got a little cooler setup than me. He's got cool lights and cool backgrounds. Thank you, Aaron. Tip of the hat to you. Link to his channel below. Follow his content. Great, great stuff. The thing I love about 8-tracks is they are so 70s. They are so dazed and confused. They are so your dad's pickup truck, windows down, a country 8-track in the player. And I always associate 8-tracks to this belt buckle. Although I think the height of Kiss, 77 and 78, 8-tracks were still sold a lot. I think it was mainly vinyl at that point, and then 79 turned into cassettes. I think of those early 76, late 75 days as total 8-track era, and it always reminds me of the original kind of first brass belt buckle that kind of led Kiss into that Pacifica belt buckle era. Now I will forewarn you, I don't have a lot of 8-tracks. I only have a few. We're just going to touch on the ones I have and what I like about them, and then we're going to close with a very cool 8-track that no one else in the world has but me. First up, the debut album on the black 8-track. Kind of cool. I love the black 8-track with the black album cover. Very fun, and always reminds me of, you know, this would have been a fan who got into the band early. Somewhere between 74 and Alive, they would have purchased that first record on 8-track. At least that's what I think in my heart. I hope that in my heart. You know, maybe some kid got into Dynasty in 79 and went back and bought the first album on 8-track. But I like to think the innocence of those 1975 high school, middle school kids, preferably high school, in their El Caminos, you know, they are buying the first 3 albums on 8-track, smoking the doobies and jamming out to Kiss. Next up is Hotter Than Hell, and this is probably my favorite 8-track I own because I love that red case. There's something about that red case that just reminds me of a small town, high school, football team, kids cutting class, ditching practice, going off in a field somewhere to drink a 6-pack of beer and listen to Kiss on 8-track. And they have probably the coolest heavy metal sounding album of the catalog on a very badass red 8-track tape. Next up, Love Gun. I like that the artwork got bigger. Compared to my earlier catalog versions, the stickers were smaller. And I don't know, I don't collect 8-tracks, so I don't know if around maybe Destroyer, Rock and Roll Over, the album artwork got bigger on the 8-track, or I don't know if these were later editions of an 8-track. I guess I should have prefaced this whole vlog with, I don't collect 8-tracks, and maybe I should. Maybe I should go down the 8-track collecting rabbit hole. Leave your comments below if you think I should, but it's just something I've never ventured down, and we'll touch base on why here in a few 8-tracks. Next up, Double Platinum, and the only thing I know about this is this was my very, very first ever 8-track. I was in college. A buddy of mine came over to my house. He was very amused by, almost weirded out by my Kiss room, and said his brother had some Kiss 8-tracks if I wanted them. And I believe I got Love Gun from him and Double Platinum, which when I was 1993, no one I knew had Kiss 8-tracks. Danny didn't have any, Brett didn't have any, I was the only one. Only kid on the block collecting 8-tracks. Which again, I didn't collect them back then, and I don't collect them now, so I can't really say collecting 8-tracks. I can feel a rabbit hole coming. Now these next two were some of my favorites because these were the first time I ever found a actual Casablanca holder sleeve, and I found these at Half Price Books for like 99 cents each. They had Ace and they had Gene, and if you know how I am with Gene's solo album, my all-time favorite solo album of the bunch, so I loved owning it on 8-track with an actual Casablanca sleeve. And I guess I should also add to this vlog, you're gonna watch this and think he is the worst 8-track collector speaker in the world, because I don't have an 8-track player. I did at one time, and if you are familiar with my channel, years ago when I first started out, I had that like living room style stereo that would flip up. When we first got it, I wanted to play an 8-track, and instead of testing it out with Smokey and the Bandit 2 soundtrack, I tested it out with Gene. The 8-track player completely ate the tape, and naive, I threw the tape away. I pulled it all out and threw it away and was like, oh, I'll just keep the shell. Lessons be learned. Don't test out your 8-track player with an 8-track you want to keep, and B, don't throw things away. Try to repair them first, and then C, I need to get another 8-track player. Probably get a little portable one that can plug in. I don't know much about 8-tracks, so I assume those are out there. Need to do some research. If I go down this rabbit hole, I'm definitely buying a player. And I most definitely want to buy a player for this next 8-track we're going to talk about. Listen to how sad that is. And the final 8-track we are going to talk about tonight is a gift from my good friend, John B. Good, who created me the one and only, no one owns this in the world, a Gene Simmons, Peter Criss solo album, double album, 8-track. And it's all because John B. Good knows I love the Peter Criss solo album and the Gene Simmons solo album. Those are my two absolute favorite solo albums. He made this 8-track. Actually made an 8-track. Badass Casablanca sleeve. Super cool ass label on the end. Such a cool freaking cover. He even mentioned to me it's kind of hard to find pictures of Gene and Peter together, minus the Phantom era picture, but this is superb. And there's the back. Program 1 and Program 2 are Gene, Program 3 and Program 4 are Peter. I have to get an 8-track player because I have totally got to jam out one night, full on 1978 vibe here in the basement with an 8-track player and play this 8-track stereo tape cartridge containing my two favorite solo albums. Thank you, John B. Good. Such an amazing freaking gift. I absolutely love this and will cherish this forever. But really, I will cherish it when I get an 8-track player and when I possibly go down the rabbit hole of collecting 8-tracks. I need to. John B. Good is an avid 8-track collector. He has super cool 8-tracks, always uploading them on his channel. Check his channel out if you do not already watch his channel. Link is below. Absolutely fun KISS content to watch. And he has a lot of 8-tracks, a lot of 8-track knowledge. I do not, as you can tell by this video, but I may return one day with 8-track knowledge and a bevy of 8-tracks and a player, and we'll have a fun old 8-track wax night here in the basement. Thank you for hanging with us tonight and waxing a little rock and roll nostalgia here in the Wax Night basement, even though we couldn't actually play an 8-track. Thank you for hanging with us. Take care. Be safe. Be good to your babies. Spay, neuter, microchip. John B. Good. Thank you for this 8-track. AJ's Happy Fun Time channel. Thank you for letting me swipe the way you record your videos. I love it. I love you, Larmar. Pee-wee. 8 tracks. Take care, be safe. We will talk to you soon.